and welcome back to another episode of Poldark Dish. I'm Marlise.
And I'm Elyse.
And today we're going to be dishing about the Poldark season finale, episode 7
and 8.
Because that's the way PBS is showing it, as a 2-hour special. But first, a little recap. Love notes from Captain Blamey to Verity are being left in a super secret hideaway.
They're playing post office Cornwall style.
Woo!
Stop, oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait, Mr. Postman. Please, Mr. Postman, look and see, oh yeah. Is there a letter from Captain Blamey? The wife killer don't matter to me. After all, I'm poor Verity.
George Warlegan is putting the pressure on companies to not do business with Carnmore.
Francis is trying to sneak a peek at Ross's secret paperwork to find out who his partners are.
So Ross tells him to keep his lips zipped.
He don't even have any lips. It's true. Karen, the Shakespearean hussy, is sniffing around Dr. Eye Candy again.
But Mark has his eyes on them. Judd scores some Cornwall hooch at Will Grace.
He gets schnockered on Ross's rum and goes on a drunken rant.
Telling Demelza that Ross is Jenny's baby daddy. What?
Oh, snappy didn't! Ross throws him out on his ass.
Tin right.
Tin fair.
Tin just.
Tin fit.
Tin stand.
Tin cool.
Verity has had enough.
She is poor Verity no more.
So she tucks a note inside Aunt Agatha's pocket and leaves Trentwood for good.
Taking only her toiletries with her.
When Francis finds out she's flown the coop,
He flips out.
what's new?
Verity is finally shore-side with Captain Blame.
Beaming and planning her nautical-themed nuptials.
Fuming Francis wonders who helped the lovebirds to reunite.
So the housekeeper blabs.
Francis throws a tantrum.
Again! Warlegan shows up to give Francis some money.
And to oogle Elizabeth.
The money is to make amends for Francis's gaming losses to cousin Matthew.
1,200
But
pounds.
Warlegan only did it for Elizabeth.
And Francis is clueless.
The doctor has a new companion.
That Shakespearean hussy Karen just can't stay away.
She says she's just like the TARDIS. She's bigger on the inside.
She's all stretched out from being a hoe. Doctor! Doctor!
Yes?
Give me the news.
What news?
I've got a bad case
I'm sure that you do.
of loving you.
You're not going to throw yourself off a ladder again, are you?
No pill's gonna cure my ills.
Apparently, she hasn't heard of penicillin.
I've got a bad case of loving you. Francis wonders why Ross would betray him by helping Verity.
Warlegan says you married his chick.
Francis says, no, it can't be that.
So Warlegan gets them all worked up.
Francis spills the beans and tells George the names of all the people who infested in Carnmore.
Mark's looking for his cheating wife.
He catches her doing the walk of shame coming out of the doctor's pad.
So he beats her home and he confronts her.
She cries and says, the doctor started it.
So Mark grabs her and he squeezes her just a little too tight.
And breaks that little Shakespearean hussy neck of hers.
Oops.
Snap. Really. Snap.
The doctor finds Karen's dead body on the floor.
Meanwhile, murdering Mark seeks refuge with Ross.
Ross is going to help him get out of town before he gets arrested.
The redcoats arrive looking for Mark.
So Ross throws him off the scent. Demelza and Garrick are home alone.
Dr. Eye Candy comes to the door.
Before she can chase him off, and why would she want to?
I don't know.
Mark shows up.
The two men go at each other.
So she has to hold him off.
Meanwhile, back at Trentwood, Francis is blaming Ross for Verity's elopement.
And Francis starts talking smack about Demelza.
Elizabeth has to hold the two men off each other.
And what's the matter with the women in this family? The men. Francis yells, I have no cousin or sister. I have a wife.
Barely.
And a son.
He'll figure out who you are.
And an estate in considerably less debt than yesterday.
Only because Warlegan wants your wife.
And I have this candlestick holder.
That's mine.
And this vase.
Belongs to set dressing.
And these opera glasses. I have these opera glasses.
They belong to the director.
It's all I ever need. And this teacup.
You're screwed. Ross helps Mark escape in his boat.
Then he runs home and has Demelza get rid of all his clothes.
The redcoats come knocking, so they pretend Empire's gonna rock.
Verity and Captain Blamey get married on the love boat.
Woo! Demelza tells Ross that she went to see Francis.
She confesses that she's Mr. Postman.
She's the one who started this whole matchmaking business in the first place.
All she did was bring two lovebirds together.
But what she did was way more than that.
Carnmore is ruined and it's all Demelza's fault.
Ross can't even look at her.
Demelza wonders, is it forever?
He doesn't know.
Demelza says she won't be happy until it's all fixed.
Ross says you won't be happy for a long time. Demelza's lovely voice begins the final episode of Season 1.
Demelza tries to make amends for what she's done by baking for the miners.
And for Judd and Prudy, who've been living in Ross's barn.
Everyone's coming down with putrid throat,
Including everyone at Trent With.
but Dr. Choke thinks he's got it handled.
With leeches.
Ew. Ross is off to the auction to see if he can turn things around for Carnmore.
But George Warligan gets the upper hand at the auction.
Carnmore is toast. Demelza goes to Trentwith to tend to everyone with putrid throat.
Elizabeth must be near death because she's not wearing lipstick.
So Demelza says she'll stay and take care of them until girlfriend can get her face back on. Warligan wants to buy Ross's shares in Will Leisure.
But Ross says hell to the no. Demelza returns to Nampara only to find that she has the putrid throat.
And she's given it to baby Julia.
Dr. Eye Candy's called, but he can do nothing for them.
Demelza's delirious. In her dreams, she sees Ross and Elizabeth together.
While Ross prays at her bedside.
The doctor comes in with a face that tells it all.
Baby Julia has died.
With Demelza still in her sickbed,
Ross must carry his daughter's casket to the grave.
all the miners turn out to pay their respects.
Including Francis. The maiden voyage of Warligan's Queen Charlotte is shipwrecked.
Ross gathers the miners together. It's time to go a-pillaging. There's enough to feed them for a month. Finders, keepers.
Warligan's weepers.
Booty isn't the only thing washing up on the shore.
They're survivors too.
Riots and chaos ensue.
Ross tries to help the survivors.
And takes them back to Nampara.
Wait a minute, who's this third guy?
Warligan's cousin, Matthew.
Elizabeth comes to tend to Demelza,
Ross prays that he doesn't lose the love of his life.
proving that once and for all he is over Elizabeth.
Demelza wakes up.
She asks Ross, has she come to take you?
And he says, no, my love, she will never take me.
Elizabeth overhears this and she knows its history. At the shore, Warligan surveys his losses.
He tries to make nice with Ross.
But Ross isn't having it.
Ross has to tell Demelza the bad news.
Baby Julia did not survive.
In the most heartbreaking scene of the season.
Demelza breaks down when she realizes her baby is gone.
And she wasn't there to say goodbye.
Warligan pays a visit to Trent With.
But he hasn't come to see Francis.
He makes his intentions known to Elizabeth.
Ross rides a weak Demelza out to the beautiful Cornwall coast.
She asks him to make up with Francis.
He marvels at her generous heart.
He says he'll make Francis a part of Will Leisure.
Demelza releases baby Julia's bracelet into the wind.
A proper goodbye.
The redcoats arrive!
Ross is being arrested!
What's he accused of?
Wrecking my sleep.
Shirtless siding.
Incendiary hotness.
Killer body.
Small darken all over the place.
Lethal good looks.
Malicious lusciousness.
Premeditated sexiness with intent to thrill.
Inciting the Cornwall Cougars.
Rawr. Oh my god, what a cliffhanger!
They're actually on a cliff.
It takes place on a cliff.
What an ending. Now I've got to go read all the books.
Oh my god. I know. So sad though, oh my god.
I had to keep telling myself no actual babies were harmed in the making of Poldark. It's fiction, it's fiction.
It really was heartbreaking. I mean, first,
was.
Demelza's realization that her baby has died and she wasn't there to say goodbye. And then nothing is sadder than that scene with Ross carrying the baby casket to its
But
grave.
could they not have moved the baby bed out of Demelza's room? She's got to see the empty baby
I
bed there.
know.
That killed me
it
too.
was so heartbreaking. Oh my gosh.
It was. I
And
mean,
beautifully played by both of them, by Aidan Turner and Eleanor Tomlinson. I mean, just kudos to both of them. Incredible work this season.
it just really wrung your heart out.
It really did. So bravo. I mean, I looking forward to them, their story and what's going to happen to them. I hope they have
Yes.
another baby.
But it was a little hard to laugh sometimes with this episode.
It really was. It was sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so the wife killer?
Wife
Which
killing, one? Yeah, wife killing is okay for Mark, but really bad for Blaney.
I know. And do we know that Blamey actually killed his wife?
Yes,
it was an
but
accident?
it was an accident.
Okay.
Well, this was kind of an accident too, except he just knew he kept squishing her.
Exactly. So, but they're helping him get away. But Verity can't marry Captain Blamey.
I don't know. There's a little double standard going on. But Demelza actually calls Ross on another double standard when she went to nurse everyone at Trent With
Yes.
and said, "But you did this for Jim Carter. You would
Oh
have done
my
the
God.
same." So he had to kind of back off.
And let's talk about Verity. I'm so happy that she's married. I'm happy that she went off and found her love and
I'm
took her
worried.
life in her hands.
I'm worried. I don't
Why?
know. Do we no longer say poor Verity? But she married Blamey, and I don't trust him. So poor Verity. I'm still worried.
Why don't you trust him?
I don't know.
We haven't seen him do anything wrong, really.
Well, we've seen his temper.
Oh, that.
Yes. Remember the hurting? Yeah, the hurting could happen.
Okay.
And
But she's happy. But it's better than being Francis's slave at Trentwith.
yes, I've had.
They blamed her, so they're all there sick with putrid throat.
Yeah.
And they're pissed off at Verity for not being there
To nurse them.
and then catch it herself and die.
You know what? Trentwith is not a happy place.
And Francis is pissed off at the whole family because of that.
I wished I looked sick the way Elizabeth looks sick. Hair a little askew and no lipstick.
Which is very vogue these days. The whole, monotone face with no lipstick. She could still be on the cover of Vogue magazine.
She's lovely. She really is lovely. You know what?
What?
I kind of think Warlegan's a little hot.
You should like Warlegan. What's the matter with your
It's
taste?
so bad.
You don't like Mr. Bates on Downton Abbey. You didn't like him.
He's always so put together.
Yes.
And he's just good looking, and he's making an effort. You see these little glimpses of him, like he wants to be a good guy, but he just can't because the badness takes him over.
But don't you really think it's just rejection? Because he's reached out to Ross in several different ways throughout the season, and he just gets shut down by Ross.
He does.
I just think like it's a jilted friend. Like
Ross could make more friends if he were just a little kinder, but George Warlegan could actually be redeemable. But maybe I think that because he's nice looking. Could happen.
So I can't believe it's the end of season 1 so quickly.
It went so fast.
It did.
So good.
It was. So what are we looking forward to in season 2?
Well, we've got to break Ross out of prison.
We do.
He's in the Truro prison, so send in the cows. But apart from that, we want to see him and Demelza have another baby.
Have another baby.
We want to see the mine thing. We want to see George Warlegan get his comeuppance.
I know. My God, I don't know. And
ruffle his hair.
The whole bringing Francis in on the business. Do you think that's going to work?
That is a bad idea.
Of course, it's a bad idea.
Oh, Francis.
I don't know.
And he's such a good actor because you really, really dislike him.
Yeah.
You dislike this character, and he's just so weak.
And are we going to explore? Will we get to see more exploration with Verity and Captain Blamey?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I'm worried about them.
I know.
But it would be nice to see Verity blossom as an independent head of her own household instead of being dog's body for everyone else.
Very good. So lots to look forward to.
And Margaret
in
the
season 2.
Hoe, boy, she has come up in the world.
Margaret the Hoe, did you see her?
Oh my
in that
God,
scene?
she went from scrubby, not cleaning her nails
to
oh my goodness,
courtesan. Yeah,
she looks fabulous.
She's like
you go, Margaret the Hoe.
Margaret the Hoe. We're rooting for the Hoe. Well, how did that happen?
Well, the Hoe is actually a nicer character than some of them.
Yeah, because did you see her look when she overheard that Warlegan is going to try to take down Ross, and she has a soft spot for Ross.
Well, who doesn't? But she may come to his rescue in the future.
Oh, okay.
I hope so. And this is someone not reading the book, so we can't call it a spoiler if I'm right. I'm just guessing.
Okay, I like that.
But yeah, Margaret the Hoe is getting some fabulous outfits.
Very good.
Speaking of changing the fortunes of the Poldark, let's change a few fortunes of Poldark fans.
Yes, we have a few giveaways to do this week. We have a DVD and the Blu-ray of season 1.
That was thanks to PBS distribution.
Yes.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay, here we go. This will be for the DVD. Poldark DVD season 1.
There's a lot of
Good luck, everybody.
I shouldn't look.
I know. All your comments and tweets went into the hat box.
Okay, here we go. And Marguerite Z, you have a DVD coming your way.
And Marguerite Z, awesome. Congratulations. DVD will be on its way to you shortly. And now we're going to draw for the Blu-ray. And you have to, let's see.
What? You got a punch.
Oh gosh.
Do you need help? Okay. Stacy Mac 929.
Stacy, congratulations. You won the Blu-ray.
Okay.
And now for...
Is this the Robin Ellis book?
This is the Robin. Now we're drawing for the Now we're drawing for the downloadable book, Robin Ellis's book, Making Poldark.
Reverend Hulse. Okay, got one, got two, got one. Nancy Skellinger.
Nancy Skellinger, congratulations. You won Robin Ellis's downloadable book of making Poldark.
You'll have to tell us all about it.
Yes, we can't wait. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to PBS Distribution for sponsoring our giveaways, and thank you so much to the original Mr. Poldark himself, the very handsome Robin Ellis.
Still hot after all these years.
Yes, he is. And so once again, for the last time this season, I'm Marlise.
And I'm Elyse.
And we're the Poldark Dish.
We want Ross. Yes, we do. We want Ross. How about you?
Rawr.